thoroughly welded, the result is a precisely engineered part. The finished A-arm.
The A-arm holds the tire in place, and when the ball joint's put in, is what makes a tire pivot when you turn. When you turn, that's what the tire pivots on, is the ball joint. There's one on top, and there's also another A-arm that goes on the bottom with another ball joint. That's what makes a tire turn.
Aiding the car's remarkable handling is an incredibly low overall weight. Just over 2,000 pounds. Like a featherweight boxer, the Factory 5 Roadster weaves with stunning sensitivity.
The cars are so light, they really do things that modern cars don't do very well. They're more like race cars.
This weight-to-power ratio also makes for quick deceleration. Laying on the brakes takes the Roadster from 70 miles an hour to a grinding halt in less than 160 feet. Faster than some of the world's best and highest-priced supercars.
It stops ferociously hard, so when you get on the binders, the car hauls down fast.
But don't take Factory 5's word for it. Their car's performance has been put to the test over and over. Caught on tape at the 2002 Factory 5 Championship, driver Dave Borden and his home-built Roadster are about to get tested. Deep into the Factory 5 National Championship race, driver Dave Borden's right behind the leader, Gary Krischbaum. But a sudden spin-out forces an emergency maneuver, putting car and driver in serious danger. Thanks to a rigid chassis and super tight racing suspension designed and fabricated to perform at top speed, Dave straightens out and tears off. He pulls into the lead with just 2 laps to go, all in a Factory 5 kit car built in his own garage. Back at Factory 5, the finished chassis received its aluminum panels. The next step? Construct a replica car body from fiberglass. It's a composite material that's rigid and light. The car kit builders at Factory 5 have completed a super strong chassis and racing suspension. Now it's time for the last fabrication step. Using composites similar to the Viper jet, they'll follow the same formula. The lighter the body, the more engine power can translate to speed. And it all starts with this. Sheets of fabric-like material known as e-glass. A glass fiber matrix that gives fiberglass its structure. Mixed with plastic resin, a finished fiberglass piece is strong and light. First, giant e-glass sheets are laid out on the cutting table. Next, CNC machine operator Jerry Hodson heads to the computer to enter dimensions for his desired cutouts.
So once the software is programmed over in the computer, what we do is it's automatically sent over here, and it's just go time after that. So here we go.
Each cutout represents part of the finished car body. But in order for it to take shape, the e-glass cutout needs something to hold its form.
All right, we're gonna go get Jimmy some resin.
At the molding station, Operations Manager Nate Johnson prepares resin for the next step in the molding process. To begin hardening the polyester resin, a catalyst called MEKP, or methyl ethyl ketone peroxide, is added. It's a highly toxic substance, also used in explosives. To make it more user-friendly, fiberglass workers combine it with other compounds like dimethyl phthalate, reducing its volatility.
You'll actually see it change into a darker brown, more uniform color when it's ready to go.
Once the resin is ready, the e-glass cutouts are placed on molds in the shape of finished car parts.
Basically, we got 2 layers of glass going on here for just basic support. You know, 2 layers is obviously more important than 1, adds more sturdiness. Just applying the resin to the glass, let the resin soak in.
After the resin soaks into the e-glass, Factory 5 workers use special tools to roll the resin into a thin layer. Any air bubbles must be removed before the resin hardens.
The sun will increase the size of the air void, so if there's any air in it, once the sun hits it, it'll bring it out through the gel coat and you'll be able to see it from the other side.
Fully hardened, the finished fiberglass part is taken to the red room, where worker Jimmy Gifford prepares a sprayable coating known as the gel coat. The gel coat is a 0.015-inch protective layer, shielding the composite body and providing a working surface on which to paint. Once dry, each coated part's then taken to another CNC machine for precision trimming.
Suction cups will hold the part on there while the robot trims. It's on here, set the air, pulls the suction, and now we're ready to go. Now this is ready to go get bonded into the trunk skin.
Some parts, like the trunk and hood, require an interior and exterior fiberglass part. Bonding takes anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. With the interior and exterior trunk parts bonded together, a final trim in the CNC cutting machine, and the new part is ready for the next station, chassis assembly. Back at Factory 5, a precision welded chassis, racing-inspired suspension, and composite molded car body meet at the final station before shipping out. The chassis assembly area is the last step in the project car production line and the most critical for the end customer. Here, all the precision-made parts are brought together for a final fitting, inspected one last time to ensure safety, reliability, and performance.
We're the final eyes that see it before the customer sees it. So we tend to go over it with a more finer tooth comb. I'm basically looking at this car like it's my car. I look at every car that I make like it's my car because someday somebody's going to drive it, someone's going to build it. Somebody may push it to its limits. I'd like it to not fail because of something I missed.
After a thorough inspection, workers begin mounting the hood and trunk. Once the body's complete, the final step in the assembly process, boring holes for additional frame-mounted fixtures. The finished result looks almost road-ready, but it's just a shell. As a single piece, the chassis, aluminum panels, and body are much easier to ship and receive. On the customer end, all these parts will come back off. There's no shortcut for Factory 5 builders. In the 26,000 square foot warehouse, Factory 5 stores upwards of 400 different parts, from CNC welded Factory 5 kit parts to genuine commercial car components, like brake pads, needed to complete the job.
You'd have to see the pack list to see how many parts you get. I mean, it's a truly complete kit. You get everything you need. You know, we don't skimp on anything.
Once the order's processed and ready, parts are loaded onto pallets. and the kit cars carefully rolled into the waiting truck for delivery to your door. For customers like Mike Easton, the sight of a Factory 5 truck driving up the street is a bit like seeing Santa Claus.
When I first received the kit, it was totally like Christmas. We had a big crate, they dropped it off in the driveway. First thing I did was get my pry bars and hammers, and then while it was still in the crate, I jumped in the car and got some pictures of me sitting in the car, surrounded by all these pieces, and I'm just sitting in the driver's seat.
The only thing a new owner needs to supply is the engine, running gear, and rear end. Easy parts to track down for a good price.
So I went to the local salvage yard, and I was able to find all the parts I needed. They put it in a pallet and delivered it to my house. Mustang parts are all over the place.
As owners will attest, this kit has everything you need. For the mechanically inclined, a Factory 5 car is one of the easiest things you can build from scratch.
It comes complete. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to figure out how things are going to fit. If you can work a screwdriver and you have basic hand tool knowledge, you can build this car. It's just like building a model as a kid.
In the end, the average Roadster project takes about 250 hours and $20,000 to $30,000 to complete. But for many, it's a small price to make their dream car a reality. The Factory 5 Roadster kit's been built, delivered, and then constructed in a home garage. Now that it's complete, the sensation is beyond a feeling of mere accomplishment. And building a road rocket with your own bare hands deserves more than a pat on the back.
Well, the first time I started up the motor, it felt really good.
Cornering, braking, and tearing off, the Factory 5 Roadster performs like a supercar at a fraction of the cost.
It's just an awesome car. It's fun to drive.
Smooth, high-speed rides like this one are a testament to the amazing design of a high-performance kit car and the driver's flawless build.
Factory 5 and racing are completely inseparable. They're part of who we are as a company.
But Factory 5 isn't content to rest on their laurels. They never stop trying to improve with every new innovation they see.
No two cars are alike of the 7,000 cars that we've built. So every time we see another car, we see something new.